You're listening to the Oklahoma On Stage podcast. We're glad you've joined us. We can be found on most platforms, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you have any comments or questions, we'd love to hear them. So drop us an email at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com or use the comment form on our website, which is oklahomaonstage.org. If you like the podcast, please share it with someone. And now, sit back and enjoy another great episode.
Welcome back, everybody, to Oklahoma On Stage. As always, I'm Tim. I'm your host. And today we are sitting in the auditorium, I guess that's what you should call it, of Sooner Theater in Norman. And I'm sitting down with someone who has shaped the artistic heartbeat of Norman for more than 2 decades. She's celebrating 23 years as the director of the Sooner Theater, a historic landmark that has become one of Oklahoma's most vibrant performing arts centers. She's a professional actress, choreographer, director, educator, leader. She's a 2026 Governor's Arts Award recipient for Arts and Education, a 2025 Freddie G. Fellow, and she recently received an honorable mention for the Tony Award for Excellence in Theater Education. From nearly 500 performances as Laurey in Oklahoma to choreographing national commercials, theme parks, and major events, her journey is extraordinary. And today, we get to hear the story behind the woman who helped transform the Sooner Theater into a powerhouse of creativity, education, and community. Oklahoma On Stage family, please join me in welcoming Jennifer Baker to the podcast.
Goodness, thank you. That was really nice what you came up with there.
You like that?
Made me sound important, and I am not.
There's all kinds of accolades going on there.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as we do pretty much with every episode that we do, we just jump right in with the elephant in the room. How did you get started in theater?
Well, okay. My mom took me to see the Nutcracker when I was 5 years old. And I said, I want to do that. And then that next summer, let me see, that was Christmas. So summertime, she put me in an acting class with the City of Norman's Park and Recreation Department. And I was a Georgia peach, and I had a little peach cutout board, and I carried it out across stage. I never had one line. Still bitter about that. No, I'm kidding. I didn't have one line, but it changed my life. And it happened right there. I was 5. And I don't know. I was one of those nerds that, not nerds. I was one of those people that would sit in front of the TV, once a year when The Wizard of Oz came on or White Christmas and just cry because I wanted to be in it.
Sure.
How do I get in that? And so, we didn't have a lot of money, and we, my parents did the best they could. And, they, thank goodness for some scholarships, but they stuck me in everything arts related they could get me in. So I'm thankful for that.
Very cool.
Mhm.
So you're a Norman native.
Yes, I am.
You graduated from the University of Oklahoma with a BFA. Went on to a acting and choreography career in New York City.
Yes, I lived there, but I was never there. I was always on the road working. But you get out of college and they're like, well, you have to go to New York to make it in the arts. That you just got to go. And I was trying to find a way to, well, can I just stay here and make something out of something? So I was living there and just worked hard to get back to Norman. So
very cool. And it's a good thing you came back. So you've done choreography for Oklahoma Lottery, Riverwind Casino, Taco Mayo, among others, theme parks and national event choreography. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Film, TV, commercial, Hallmark movie appearances.
Well, just one, but that was a bucket list. And again, I didn't have any lines. So we got to work on that. Yeah, I'm a sucker for the Hallmark film. I've got the mug and the sweatshirt, and I watch all of them during the holidays. So
Okay. So you have started leadership programs. You've been involved with leadership programs, Leadership Oklahoma, Leadership Norman, all the awards that you've won. So tell me, what was the biggest lesson that you learned during your time in New York City?
well, I think what I just hit on is you don't have to live in New York to make a career, to have a career in the arts. And, when I came back here, I came back in 99, and my husband and I, then boyfriend, we were, long distance for about 7.5 years. So when we decided to get married, he also was from Norman, but not living here. Um, yeah, came back in 99 to get married. And at the same time, I get a letter from the university saying, you've got 3 hours to finish or your degree. We're going to add another 4 semesters to your degree. So I came here, I got married, I finished those hours, and I did go back on the road for a little bit after being married. And then came back home because I was pregnant, and I was in a dreamy season at Bucks County Playhouse too. I was doing Miss Mona and did a pregnancy test in my costume before I went out. Found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh. So I just gave up the rest of that season, came home and told my husband, surprise, we are having a baby. And I never went back. But yeah, I think this came about while I was sitting here trying to figure out what I was going to do in the arts. And I got a call that said, why don't you join the board of the Sooner Theater since you're here? And I thought, well, what do they do? I knew they had a concert series, and I didn't know what they did. So I attended a board meeting, and a theater consultant happened to be there. They had brought in a theater consultant that said, they didn't know what they were doing. They'd come to a crossroads, and he said, you need to hire a staff and maybe produce your own shows here instead of just promoting some concerts. And it was a rental venue, I know, but so I applied for the job and got it. And so you can make a career in the arts.
When was this?
This would have been 2002 that I was on the board. And then I started January of 2003 as artistic director. And then a couple months later, they changed my title to executive director. So I don't know why, but that's what I am to this day. So
who knows what the difference is in any of that? This thing, that thing, whatever.
I think I thought I had to go to New York, and I just had to sing and dance, and I didn't study. Thank goodness I was choreographing, and that it was a passion and a skill that I had developed through the years. But you think you just are going to be a performer. There's so many jobs in the arts that people don't think about. I did some stage managing, loved it, absolutely loved it. I think I would have loved to be a company manager. I still hear, I don't run the lights for sure, but I love to watch and maybe learn a few things. But there's so many jobs in the arts that it doesn't have to just be the one standing out there and dead center stage. So
I've told so many people in different circles here and there, especially young people, is that theater has something for everybody.
It does.
And there's a lot of kids out there that they're introverted, or they have so many, they have issues or whatever, that they have talent and skills that can be used right here.
Absolutely.
And it can totally unlock a person. I mean, it did for me. So if it happened for me, it can happen to anybody. So.
Me too.
So you got involved with Discoveryland.
Yes.
When was that?
Oh, goodness. I didn't study my dates.
I mean, obviously it wasn't yesterday because
oh no, it was quite a long time ago. 91.
Okay.
91. And got the part of Laurey, and had never been to Discoveryland. Had never heard of it, actually. And I remember the director saying something in the audition. He called me. He called me and said, "Can you come in?" Someone had heard me sing in a pageant, of all things, and told them, "Hey, you're looking for a Laurey. Why don't you call her?" And I would have never typecast myself as a Laurey, but anyway, got the part. But I remember him saying something about the horses, but it didn't sink in until I really got there that this was outdoors with live horses, a donkey, live ammunition. I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm not an outdoorsy person at all. I did have to do a grand jeté over a snake one time. Yeah. But I didn't miss my entrance. I made it. Anyway, yeah, so that was 91. And then I played Laurey for, gosh, I can't remember, 6 or 7 years. I know I took a year off and then, but toured with it. Like I got to go to Washington, D.C. and be Laurey in President Clinton's inaugural parade. That was interesting. I shared a float with Miss America and Elmo. No one even knew I was there with Elmo on the float.
Interesting combination.
Uh-huh. But yeah, so I was there a long time, and then after I stopped doing the role, I helped them choreograph some. They had added 7 Brides for 7 Brothers to their season, and flip-flopped the shows using the same set, and that was interesting. I learned a lot through that process, and then I just,
Was that before or after you went to New York?
Well, I was there during the year, and I would come back and do Discoveryland during the summers. So I was in New York.
You were busy.
I was busy. I was crazy. But I loved my time there.
Yeah.
I made some of my best friends and have just incredible memories of, there's nothing like being from Oklahoma, doing Oklahoma in Oklahoma. There's some kind of, it just gives you chills.
Yeah, it always seems kind of weird to me when I hear advertised of some theater in the West End doing Oklahoma.
They have no idea.
It's like,
So they have to grand jeté over a snake.
What do you guys know about Oklahoma?
Yeah, right. But it was really, they're talking about bringing it back.
I've seen some advertisements about opening Discoveryland back up.
Yes,
and
and
all of that.
I went to a wedding, and the event space is beautiful. They've built, a little chapel area and an event room, and it is gorgeous. They've redone the amphitheater area, and of course, I bawled like a baby when I walked in because, it was such a big part of my life. But, I left him a note and just said, hey, if you ever need me to spread the word or if you need any help, reach out. Never heard from him, but gosh, it would be cool if they bring it back just for.
That's a staple for Oklahoma.
It was
there
was nothing like seeing that 2,500 people sitting there and 30 buses coming in. It was great for tourism.
Wow, yeah. So you had taken time off from acting and performing, and then all of a sudden you had this unexpected return to the stage.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when I got here, I really had to just sit back and act like I knew what I was doing because I didn't. Here I've landed this executive director job, and I'd come right off the road, with my cap shoes, and here I am. And so I sat back and I listened and I watched, and I was like, okay, I am not going to be Jennifer the performer while I'm here. I will do some choreography, but I'm going to sit back and just do my administrative job. And then about 6 years in, I did Oliver. I did the part of Nancy. Oh my gosh, I was scared to death. I mean, I shook like a leaf, but a lot of people helped get me through it. So yeah, and then I did Rita Laporta in Lucky Stiff, which that show should be done more. That is one of my favorites, and I never hear of people doing it. It is hysterical. Do you know that show?
I don't know that I do.
Oh my gosh!
I think I've heard the title, but I don't know.
You should listen to it. It's really
I'll
clever.
Dive into that.
And then I just didn't do shows again. And my board asked me, it was my 10-year anniversary here, and they said, "We want you to do Dolly." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to need an oxygen tank off stage. I don't know if I can pull that off." but I did it, and I learned a lot. And sweet Matthew Cypress from Lyric, he directed it, and he got me through it. But oh my gosh, I'm sure that was a hard job for him because I was a nervous wreck. But I'm glad I did it. I'm getting ready to do another show. I can't tell. Well, maybe I can tell. I'm going to do a little bitty part in one of our upcoming shows.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment.
I haven't announced it yet, so I don't know, but
Okay, we'll get to that.
I can tell.
So since you've made this transition and you've gone through kind of a bit of a change, let's talk about the theater for a minute.
Okay.
So this theater opened in 1929 as a talking picture theater,
Yes.
as the first talking picture
In this
theater
region. Yes. It had the first water fountain, water cooler. It had the first air conditioning in town. And it was the place to be. If you could look up some of these old pictures, I mean, they did full sets outside the theater for the movie premiere. Full sets, people in costumes, crazy. And my mom told me that when she was little, her family would drive in from the country, which was just Berry Road, just not very far down, would drive in and park as close as they could to the Sooner Theater on a Saturday. And then they would either get a ride back home or walk back home because they wanted a prime parking spot in front of the movies.
Wow.
And it was just, you just watched people walk up and down Main Street. And my mom would say, oh, yeah, they dressed up to go to those movies. I was like, really? So, yeah, it was a big deal. That I hear that also they house some, the end of the vaudeville circuit. And there's all these stories go along with the ghost stories that people would get off, that vaudeville performers would get off the train over here at the depot, and that there was a tunnel that went under the street to the stage door. Now, we can't find it, and I've looked in the plans and the old blueprint. What is it called?
Schematics.
Whatever it is.
Whatever.
And we do see this kind of indention downstairs in the dressing room that looks like it was covered up. So we don't know. We like to think that tunnel's there somewhere. But yeah, so they did some vaudeville performances here, but they probably never expected this movie theater with absolute no wing space to do full productions like we do.
Yeah.
But here we are.
So you've never tried to get the board approval to open that door up to see?
Well, hopefully it's going to be opened up next year because we are a project in the next Norman Forward initiative. Norman Forward is like a small maps, the maps program for Oklahoma City. So it's just quality of life organizations that are featured, and they're given a huge amount of money to do projects. And something that's really important to me is, you can come in here if you're in a wheelchair, you can come sit and watch a show easily, but it's near impossible to get up on the stage. And we have students in wheelchairs, and the city is taking great care of this place, and they are going to make it accessible.
That is
and so through Norman Forward, we're going to knock a wall out. We're going to put in an elevator. We're just going to make this place accessible. We're very excited.
Fantastic.
And now it has to go through a vote, but I think it's probably a no-brainer. If it's not, I just can't imagine anyone voting no against it. But it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. We've got special needs classes, and getting them on stage is hard. We do, but it takes a lot of people and a lot of time, and they've never seen a dressing room because they can't get down there.
Oh.
And so Norman's stepping out, and we're going to make this place accessible. So yes, I'm going to get to see if that tunnel was there. I brought it up in one of the meetings. So I was like, I know it's there, but we'll see.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
I love to hear when cities and towns support the arts.
Yeah.
I love
Norman
that.
really supports the arts. I just, it's always a little scary when you go in and you think, oh, it has to go for a vote. It's not going to increase their taxes. It'll be a continuation of the tax they're still on from the first Norman Forward. But I think it's going to be really special. There's some other projects that are really interesting, and yeah.
I love it. So the theater in operation closed in 1975 and was almost demolished.
Yeah, it was scheduled for the wrecking ball. You hear things. they kept a little bit of history in some boxes upstairs. We went through as much as, we went through everything. But yeah, apparently they just came to another crossroads where they couldn't compete with the Metroplexes. When the double screens opened out on the east side of town, we had the Heisman 4 and we had Satellite Twin Theater and we had another one. They just couldn't compete with a single screen. And so they didn't know what they were going to do. And they closed down for a while. I know it sat here empty and there was a flood and there was a fire at one point. You see those on the ceiling? There's 252 Spanish coats of arms. Those little shields.
Yes.
The architect's dad hand painted all those.
Oh my goodness.
And so some of them were ruined. So they took the old ones from the back and moved them up. And there's a few replicas in the back. But yeah, it sat empty for a while. And then a group of citizens rallied together and went to the city and said, you cannot knock this place down. And just really encouraged them and fought hard for this place. And the city bought it from the architect and put it on the National Registry of Historic Places. They started a board, a nonprofit and a board, and they did good work. Some really talented, forward-thinking people have been on the board of this place for many years. And we're so thankful for them. We're thankful for that group of people. I run into one of them. Her name's Margaret Thurston. I'll see her every once in a while. And I think both of us get tears in our eyes when we talk because she'll say, how's my little theater? And I'm like, well, thanks to you, it's going really well.
Yeah,
Still,
that's awesome.
Still going strong. So
it reopened in 1982 as a performing arts center.
Mm-hmm.
And then under your guise, shifted from a rental venue to a full performing stage starting in 2002, 2003?
Yeah, 2003. So when I interviewed for the job, mostly it was about bringing musical theater to Norman. Because when I was growing up, and I told you my parents put me in whatever they could find to put me in, there wasn't musical theater. No one was doing musicals. You had your dance studios and you had your church choir and your school choir. But in Norman, our high school was 11th and 12th grade only. And they did a high school musical, but you couldn't be in a musical until you got to the 11th grade. So my whole deal coming back here was, hey, we need to do musical theater for kids that were like me, that, needed that extra, we need to do a musical. So the whole interview was about that. I wanted to start a studio. That was kind of my plans before taking this job was if I'm going to live in Norman, I'll probably start up my own academy, and so I just did it through the Sooner Theater, but it was a colleague who I had cast in a show. She said, why don't you do a camp? And I was like, a camp? And she goes, yeah, she had been with a company that had done like an opera camp. And she said, we've got this. And so we started with a camp and, the production wasn't great, but the experience was, and it grew from there. We got better, but yeah, that's how it started. And that was 2023. We started with 31 kids. We have over 1,300 now.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. So what does it mean to you to lead a theater with nearly a century of history attached to it?
Well, I sure don't take it for granted. It's special. I'll tell people, and you can tell there's this reverence. I mean, you sit in here and it's just
almost feels like you're in church.
It does.
It really does.
And I will take my time sometimes just to sit here and I'm very grateful that I've had this opportunity. It is a landmark in this town, and it's special to a lot of people. So I just hope that whoever comes in after me gets it, and that they'll want to continue this. But yeah, it's just really special. It's community. If you think of one word, this is community. And
I love to hear that the community is connected with and emphasized by, and there is that relationship between the theater and the community. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
You got a lot of towns that don't. I mean, it's like, there's the theater, there's the
Mhm.
community, but
Mhm.
there's just no connection between the two. So it's really good to hear that. So talking about the Sooner Theater today, you do 3 major musicals every year?
Well, uh, okay, let me think about that. No, we have 2 fall we have a fall and a Christmas show they're adult shows, our community productions. We used to have 4, but we've got so many children, and there's just not enough time on the calendar. We need 2 or 3 more months in the year to give everyone a shot. There's a lot of people that think we're a children's theater, and we're not. We still have our adult productions, and we're very proud of them, but mostly what we do. I think we have 9 productions a year. Like this summer, we just did James and the Giant Peach with like elementary, middle school age. We're doing Oklahoma right now with 8th through 12th graders. And then across the street, we have 2-week camps going on in 2 of the different classrooms. And this coming weekend, we have a production of 13 and a production of Dare to Dream happening over in our other space
Oh my goodness.
across the street. So I need to show you that space.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah.
So there is no season break here.
There's never a break. We used to think that we got a little break in August, but now we chuckle because that's when enrollment and auditions and everything else start up. So no, there's not a lot of breaks.
Now, so there's still a main event concert series that goes on?
Okay. No. Now once in a while we will bring in a concert if we can find time in the calendar, but we're not doing as many concerts. Now we do have LV Ellis, who is from Norman, who's touring with Hamilton right now, and he's going to kick off our season with a concert this year. But when I got here, we did do the main event concert series, but it's just become more theater. You can go hear live music a lot of places, but this is a sit down theater. It's a theater, so.
And you mentioned the studio across the street, 55 or more year-round classes, camps, full youth productions.
Yeah.
Serving hundreds of pre-K through 12 students. You said 1,300 students?
Over, yes.
That is amazing. And again, we talked about the community outreach, United Way Celebrity Scene.
Mm-hmm. That's a really fun event. It is United Way. We're not a United Way agency, but the year I got here, they asked me to direct it, and I had no idea what I was getting into, but here we are 23 years later, and it's community members that come together, and they're not professionals, but they come together and they put on a little review, a little night of singing or whatever they do, and it usually has a theme, but it raises money for United Way, and it's always been so much fun to be a part of. So yeah.
Very nice. Let's see, community support. You give away free tickets and you ask for volunteer assistance from the community.
We do. We give tickets when people have their events and their fundraisers and there's their auctions. We think it's important that we donate to those because we survive on donations too. We're thankful. And so we're going to give back. I'm really proud of our scholarship program. I mentioned earlier, I was a scholarship kid. I get it. I know how important they are. It changed my life. And we're really proud. And just this past year, we gave $81,000 in scholarships.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a hunger there. There's a need. And we've got a philosophy that, we're never turning a kid away because they can't afford it. We don't want them to know they can't afford it. We just need their parents to come up and say, where's the scholarship form? We're proud of that. And, I take it personally because what it did for me. And so $81,000, it probably makes no business sense, whatsoever, for an organization our size to give that much back. But we're going to find a way to make it happen. We're not going to say no. So, awesome. Yeah, I'm proud of that. My team, they work hard. They do a good job with all of it.
I like that. So we talked a little bit about James and the Giant Peach and Oklahoma for the summertime. and what's going on. What does the season look like here at Center Theater?
You mean like what's coming up, or
Oh.
what does the season usually the time?
What has come this year? What has already happened this year?
Okay,
And
well,
what's coming?
You think I'm going to remember? Let me see.
It's a test.
Well, I'm going to fail it. I'm going to have to read what our season was. We did. My gosh, I am too old for this. Okay, we did Matilda.
Okay.
It was wonderful. Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. And then we did Scrooge. Those were our adult shows this year. And then we have an annual murder mystery fundraiser, and that's always a hoot.
Okay.
So that counts as one of our adult shows. But yeah, that's what we did. But if I were to think back on the kids' shows, oh gosh, our high schoolers did 42nd Street. Our junior production was Shrek. Our babies did Winnie the Pooh, and our elementary age did Cinderella. I think I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's left?
Well, coming up after Oklahoma, we are doing Les Mis with our adults. I know. And Elf. We did Elf a few years ago and absolutely loved it. And we're bringing it back this year.
This is the adults doing
Yes.
Elf.
Mhm.
Oh,
And kids, can audition,
of course.
but our community productions, yes.
Okay.
And then kicking off our junior production class, they're doing a lot of things are new this year. They're going to do How to Train Your Dragon Junior, which we just saw premiered at the Theater Festival in Atlanta, which is something we could talk about. That's
Your
exciting.
dragon gonna fly?
Oh, well, I don't know. We got to figure out how to make those dragons first. Oh my gosh. And we're doing Honk. We have never done Honk here. It's the sweetest little show, and for some reason we've never done it. So I'm really excited about that. And then our babies are doing 101 Dalmatians, and I know there's one more in there, and I just can't think. Oh, we're doing Urinetown with our high schoolers.
Okay.
And then next summer, in this slot, or in the June slot, we're piloting a new show for Music Theater International. We don't know the title yet.
Oh, okay.
But we're super excited about that. And then our high schoolers are going to do Big Fish. So, yeah, I did okay. I think I hit it all.
Sounded wonderful.
It sounds like a lot of productions, but it's really not. We're mostly a technique-based studios. Those kids are taking dance classes and voice and everything else throughout the week. And
Well, it sounds like a lot because you're covering different age
Ages,
groups and
that's
things
it,
like
yeah.
that. So it may be like
Yeah.
one show
so they
not
get
every
one
other.
show a year and then one show in the summer.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
how it ends up being. So it's not too much. They're really just taking a lot of classes.
It's a lot for the teachers, but
And there's 33 of them, 35 of them, I think. This
well, that's
year.
good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids. So now you mentioned, I think before we got on here, about this is a theater for both equity and non-equity, that you work with professionals and first timers alike.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about that. How did all of that come about?
Well, of course, when you get here, you start thinking, who can you call that would come in and do a part or do a show? Or, can we maybe bring in someone that's had a little more experience and it doesn't mean they're any better, but maybe they've got experience and would sell a few tickets if you put their, face on a poster. So I just started thinking, who can we bring in? And so we had this guy here in the city that I met who had been the Phantom for 9 years on the tour. His name's Tommy Cunningham. And he was just Warbucks in Lyrics Annie this summer.
Okay.
Yeah. So got to know him and did some shows. He came in and did some shows. And so we figured out how to do the whole equity thing. And so we did. And we try to keep it to 1 or 2 a year. Not every show.
Okay.
So
But you also try to keep the door open for first time people.
Absolutely. That's what we are.
Okay.
So,
Even
and
for
I do.
adults?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. We've had people on stage that haven't done a show since they were in high school. They might be 75 years old and they just want to come out and audition. And then we've got some that have never done it before ever. And hey, maybe they've got some talent and they just come and try. I love that. So it's
Yeah.
just a good mix. We just had an 84-year-old I didn't tell you, we were talking about the different ages.
Mhm.
We just did a production of Guys and Dolls
Yes.
Senior.
Yes.
And oh my
How was
gosh.
that?
Oh, I can't even talk without crying. It's so amazing. And we partnered with the Healthy Living Norman, and we did it over at the Adult Wellness Center. And there were 35 in that cast, and one was 84 years old.
My goodness.
Oh, it was so cute. They did such a great job. So next summer we're doing Music Man Senior.
Okay.
So, yeah. Oh, I haven't announced that. I guess I just did.
I guess
Okay.
you just did.
Guess, yeah. Well,
You heard it here first,
yeah.
folks.
All right. Oh,
So let's see. What else can we talk about? The serving the students. You served. We talked about serving 1,300 students or more. What changes have you seen over the years as this has increased?
changes. I don't know if I don't know if it's changes. I think we've gotten better at our craft. We've learned and grown every year with this. Changes. I don't.
My wife and I were just talking the other day. We were listening to I have Sirius XM in my truck, and we were listening to the Broadway channel on Sirius XM, and of course it covers everything from the 2000s all the way back to the 30s and 40s.
All right.
And I think something from 1965 was playing, and it was the old, very large parts. And my wife goes, "Aren't you glad we don't sing like that anymore?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like,
Okay, that's a good.
it's so
There have been
evolutions
Right.
and changes in even not even just the singing, but even in the way we act on stage now has
Mhm.
changed.
Yeah.
Things are I'm seeing a lot more natural
Mhm.
performances rather than theatrical
Right.
performances. But
And
we
you
still have
you
those.
look at Broadway too, and there's been well, it shifts back and forth, but a lot of contemporary musicals, a lot of rock musicals and pop musicals, and we
Jukebox
always
musicals.
jukebox, yeah. But we always throw in a classic
That's awesome.
every so often for
Yeah.
these kids to get that experience. And they don't know any of them. It's hysterical, but they know all the Wickeds and the
Oh,
Hades Town and
oh.
the Les Mis. I don't know. Les Mis might be a classic now. What is that in the 80s?
So yeah, that's been all the way back there,
Yeah. So I think that's a change. I think everyone really likes the contemporary musicals, and
Well, you might as well jump on board because everybody's doing "Come From Away" this next.
oh, I
So,
know. I know.
the whole-
I knew it was coming, and I was like, well,
It's like I saw the announcement come out that the license was available,
Mhm.
and it's like that beginning of the summer when all the theaters start announcing their season. It's like a dozen of them have announced they're doing "Come From
Right.
Away." I was like, people are going to get tired of that show,
right.
and I hate that because it's a
Oh, it's
wonderful show.
beautiful. Yeah, the music's
Wonderful show.
incredible. I think, just like the vault opened up and Les Mis was available and jumped on that. But yeah, it's been interesting there were some others that came available this year that I saw a lot of people. I can't think. Anyway.
So looking to the future,
Mhm.
okay, you've brought it this far,
Well,
changed it.
my team brought it this far. I'm just walking alongside them.
Oh, no, you must be doing something right.
I say I think if I could really, if there's one thing I feel like I have done right around here is I have assembled the best staff.
That's what
I mean,
makes
they're
a true
just,
leader.
they're not just doing it because it's a job, they believe in the mission. And our mission is just simply to change lives. And they believe in it. And they don't give up, and they don't treat a kid production like it's a kid production. It is as important as an adult production.
Absolutely.
And they just go the extra mile. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like I said, looking to the future, where do you see Sooner Theater in 5 to 10 years?
well, if this Norman Forward package goes through, and if the expansion happens, and this place is accessible, I think um, we'll be capable of doing more programs that maybe with our special needs classes. I would like to see them do their own musical, and there are some programs that are out there that we could follow the lead on, but That's something I think about is, we're just limited right now
Mhm.
until that happens. But with that expansion, and we're going to go this way, um, we'll have a scene shop, which we've never had a scene shop, and we'll have a black box. And by having those, we don't have to build. You see this. This is our shop you're looking
Yeah.
at right now.
Yeah.
We have to build on stage, which not just takes up calendar days, but it's wear and tear on the curtains and the stage and everything else. But, having a black box and a scene shop, it'll open the stage time more and maybe bring back a concert or two. I'd love to show films in this. We're still capable of showing films, and we do every once in a while. But I'd like to get to where we could maybe more frequently show a film. Um, so yeah, I think it's just going to open the door, more possibilities. Now, I don't know how long I'll be here, but just hope in 5 to 10 years that, um, well, trust me, I'll be here till I'll probably die in this building. They'll have to roll me
Wheel you
out.
out of here. Yeah.
But I just hope that whoever's here next just uses this as their, lead and hops on it. And I think this could go forever. It'll, the right people are involved.
That's the key to it. So, you mentioned a while ago about Honk, but are there any new programs or productions that you dream of putting up there,
I think not, you mean specific shows?
or any other type of program?
Well, we've dreamed about Les Mis. We've done it with our kids a couple of times, but we've dreamed about doing the adult productions. So we're excited that we finally get to do that. But um, I think that the special needs production, we're hitting the senior citizens. We've got all ages um, that we're working with right now. So it would be great to be able to do the musical just for these classes. But I can't think of titles. I don't know. Knowing me, I'll say something classic.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. I don't know. I don't know. We've done so many of my favorites. We're repeating a lot. Trust me, through all these years, we repeat every about 7 years. But
Is there ever an idea of doing straight plays here?
we have in the past. We have, like we were talking earlier. We did Moon Over Buffalo.
Okay.
I loved it. We did a beautiful production of Our Town, directed by Tom Orr. It was stunning. You know, I don't want to say this. I don't want to upset anyone. They didn't sell as well as the
Of
musicals.
course.
And yes, we want to do it for art's sake, but we have to pay the bills too. And it just seems like our patrons like the musicals. But one comes along every once in a while. Absolutely, it's the right one, the right fit. Yeah.
Okay. What do you hope that your legacy will be after 23 plus years of leadership?
Oh my gosh.
What are you leaving behind? Not that you're leaving, but I mean, what do you hope that you're leaving behind?
Oh goodness, you're gonna stump me with this one. I
It
don't
gets
know.
worse.
It gets worse.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And you don't edit these things. So I'm just rambling and going on, and you're not going to cut me off. Oh, I don't know. I think, well, I've never thought about that. No one's ever asked me that question. I just hope that people remember that, I was in it for the community. It wasn't it for myself. I'm not making tons of money here. It's like, it's not for me. It's for Norman. And I go back to that word community. I think that's the word that sums up this place, not just because it's community theater, but we just have a strong relationship and a place. We have a place in this community. And I just want people to remember that and someday talk about our programs and how we started. Like I talk about the Wrecking Ball and the vaudeville shows, just to remember what we did here. We've had some incredible students and performers come through this program. And, some have gone on to Broadway, some are doing national tours, some have had leads on Netflix series. And, we're proud of that. I just hope they remember that, community was.
Yeah. What do you hope
thing.
that these students take away from their time here?
Well, I hope that they know that they'll remember back because, it gets scarier. You think you got problems at a high school. You have no idea. I hope that they remember that it was a safe place and an accepting place and that our arms are open and that we're still here even when they take off. You can always come back. And we do. Our kids come back constantly. But we strive to be a safe place, whatever safe means to you. You're welcome here and you're loved. And that's more important than anything we're putting on stage. So I hope they remember those lessons. I hope that we've helped foster and encourage these young people to grow up and be good humans, while at the same time teaching them a kickball change. But maybe that.
It's always a good thing. So, I told you it gets worse.
You're talking with your hands now.
We're wrapping up our time here, and as I do with every episode, when we wrap up our time, we always want to wrap up with a real light note, have a little fun, and just play a little bit. So I end my episodes with what I call my curtain call curveballs.
Oh gosh, I'm not good at this. Okay.
So these are going to be just the first thing that pops into your head. It doesn't matter how random it is, just it's
scary.
That's where it gets funny. But literally just the first thing that pops into your head, and we'll go through these. We'll kind of make this a lightning round. We'll go through these quickly.
Oh gosh. Okay.
If you could have a seemingly useless superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
Okay. What's a role that you've never played, but you've always wanted to?
Adelaide. I am Adelaide. And we just did Guys and Dolls Senior, and I was of age to do it. And I had a family wedding, and so I couldn't be in it. So I skipped it, my only shot. Adelaide. A poison can develop a cold. Cold. What is it?
It'll come back around, I'm sure.
I don't know.
You'll get another shot. Okay. One thing that every performer should know before moving to New York.
Well, you better have a plan, and you better have money in the bank account, a little nest egg, so that you can go and not have to work all day long and miss all the auditions. I got lucky because I got a temp job. And so I catered in the evening so I could audition during the day. But I didn't have much of a plan, and I sure didn't have a nest egg. So I would have both those.
Oh, that's awesome. What's a song, food, or activity that instantly lifts your spirits?
Oh my gosh. A song, food, or activity. Just pick one of them, or
one of each if you want.
Well, food lifts my spirits on the daily.
Just any food?
Food. I think the egg rolls from Blue Moon in Edmond. And Rory Rogers, which we don't have around here anymore. But that lifts my spirits. Yeah. So every time I'm near...
They're hard to find, period. Anymore.
I know. They're... You not believe it, but my office manager, her parents brought me back sandwiches and sauce in a cooler not too long ago because they were traveling. So I got my fix. I think it was Cincinnati or DC area. I can't remember where they were, but they've got them up. They've got restaurants up there.
Okay, so it's a northern thing now.
But which
is weird.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
What is a skill that you have that people would never guess?
A skill that I have that people would never guess. A skill. I don't know if it's a skill, but I can write my name with my toes.
That's interesting.
If you put the pen right here, I can write my name.
Wow. Hey.
Is that what you meant? You want something more
that's fine.
Classy and...
Okay. She doesn't have to be classy. Okay, so what's one thing outside of theater that you just totally geek out about?
Outside of it. I love cooking.
Really? Okay.
Mhm. I love to cook. I love to experiment and to make up things. And yeah, and I've been on this low carb keto thing for the last few years. So I've kind of changed my lifestyle, they say. But I love to create things.
Yeah.
And I was posting little tips and tweaks. Every once in a while, I'll post a tips and tweaks for this new lifestyle I'm eating. But I love to cook. I think I would have,
A particular style of food that you like over others?
no, a savory. I'm not
Okay.
a good baker.
Yeah.
It's a science. You have to follow I can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a rule follower in life, but not when it comes to cooking. I want to taste and sample and tweak. And I don't know. I love cooking. I would have loved to have had my own cooking show.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Well, I almost did. Well, not really. Well, sort of. So my cousin was president of OETA for a while, and I had gone to him and said, I want to have a cooking show, and I've got a plan. And I called it Sing for Your Supper. So I was going to go interview people, and they would sing a song, and then we would cook in their kitchen. And that was long before Emerald and all these fancy cooking shows. It was a long time ago. But sometimes I think back, dang it, why didn't I do that? I'd have loved it. But anyways, that's it. Okay, sorry.
Would have been a great partnership with Justin Wilson.
Oh my gosh.
I could watch him for hours.
For hours.
Even still.
Yeah, you pull up the YouTube.
Oh,
he's so good. Oh, I haven't thought about it.
My
in a while.
grandmother got me hooked on him, and I couldn't forget it.
Oh, wonderful.
So you get to grab one snack from any decade. What are you bringing back?
Bringing back?
Yeah.
Well, I already mentioned Roy Rogers. I would bring that back. If I win the lottery, Norman's going to have a Roy Rogers.
Fair enough. Fair enough. If your personality were a weather forecast, what's the prediction?
Oh, good Lord.
Don't you make it worse.
I mean, oh my gosh. What's the prediction?
Yeah. What's coming?
Oh gosh. Okay, that is a stumper. That's not fair.
It's
if my life was, say it again.
If your personality,
my personality,
were a weather forecast, what would be the prediction?
I'm pretty easyggoing. Okay. I think it would be mild to partly cloudy. Maybe. No, I don't think I'm partly cloudy. I'm a worrywart, but I'm not partly cloudy. That's a hard one. I don't think that's fair.
That's not fair, is it?
I bet you've had some great answers, though. I'd love to know them.
They change for every guest.
Yeah, and mine's really bad. But
if theater didn't exist, what wildly different career would you be in?
I already said it. I'd have my own cooking show.
Your own cooking show.
Yeah, and sometimes I think I'd like to have a junk store because I love to go junking and thrifting.
Cooking is amazing.
And I think that would be fun. And hey, I would donate the props to local theaters.
Sure.
I don't know. Those are the things I like.
Yeah.
I'd like to cook. A cooking show would be a blast.
And I can see you being really good at that too.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I know around here sometimes I say, my team is so good, they don't really need me. I'm just here for hugs and snacks. I'm good at snacks.
I like to cook too, so I have this tradition that for every show that I'm in, whether I'm directing, acting, whatever, I cook one meal for the cast. And,
wonderful.
And I love it. I try oftentimes to make it a themed, show themed, but I can't always do it. So, but I just do. I try my best. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love to cook too. So, well, Jennifer, that's all the time we've got.
I really appreciate you having me on this, and it was so nice to meet you finally.
I appreciate you opening the door.
It's a special thing that you've taken the interest in some of us and getting to know these theaters and theater directors and
thanks.
It's
a labor of love, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm looking forward to every minute that comes. So,
and you sure you can't edit out some of my rambling?
Wouldn't do that if you paid me. And I don't get paid for this, so
all right, I'll stick with it.
Well, Jennifer, thank you. You
so
probably
much.
appreciate
you.
It's been a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun guests on here, but you're definitely at the top.
Oh, no.
It's been a lot of fun. So
Thank you.
for everybody else listening at home, we thank you for your time as well, for giving us a little bit of your slice of life, whether you're listening to us at work, in your car, or at home. Thank you for a little bit of time in your life, giving it to us. So we appreciate all that you do. We appreciate your support. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, our website, oklahomaonstage.org. You can contact us with any comments or questions at oklahomaonstage@gmail.com. Again, thank you for your support. But as we always say, no matter what, continue to support the arts.